All right, what is going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. So I wanted to do a Q&A video because it's been probably 2 or 3 years since I've done a Q&A video on this channel. I wanted to remind you guys first that this is the week of the Mr. Golden Era entry deadline. So if you guys are wanting to compete in the Mr. Golden Era competition, this is the week, and now is the time to send in your Mr. Golden Era entry. Now, you guys do have until the 30th of November to get those entries in, but I've got to say, we're only about 2 or 3 days into the entry window now, and I've gotten way more entries this year than I've gotten last year. So I do believe this is going to be the biggest and most competitive Mr. Golden Era competition we've ever had in terms of both the number of competitors and the caliber of competitors. And I'm very, very excited to see you guys vote and see who makes the top 6 and see who wins this year's Mr. Golden Era. I've already seen some professionals that have already sent in their entry, so I'm very excited for that. And I think this year's Mr. Golden Era is going to be a very, very cool event, and I'm very, very excited to give back to you guys. So again, if you have not sent in your entry, make sure you do so. I'm sure a lot of you guys will probably send it in before Thanksgiving on Thursday because you guys don't want to be dieting over Thanksgiving, so I'm expecting Wednesday, Thursday morning to get a lot of entries as well. But on the 23rd, on Saturday, I got in a buttload of entries, and some of those guys, I mean, a lot of you guys look very, very good, so I think it's going to be a very tough competition this year. So just wanted to make sure I shouted out the Mr. Golden Era as we got into this video here. So let's get straight into some questions here. Let me get ready for this. That was just some pre-workout. All right. First question. These are questions that I did one of those Instagram stories where you can ask me questions on Instagram, and I took those. I'm going to be answering those questions from Instagram on here. So the first question from Alberto Abolafio. Have you ever thought of taking gear? This is probably one of the most prominent questions that I get on this channel because obviously I am a natural bodybuilder. I talk about natural bodybuilding from time to time. I've competed in natural bodybuilding. I've been drug tested, the whole 9 yards. So have you ever thought of taking gear? The answer is obviously yes. I think everybody that's ever gotten into working out has at some point came to the consideration of taking gear or PEDs, especially in today's Instagram culture. With as popular as bodybuilding and fitness has become on Instagram, a lot of guys, especially younger guys and teenagers, have the tendency to compare themselves to what they're seeing on social media. And probably that is a primary motivating factor for a lot of people to think about taking gear. They see all these crazy physiques on Instagram and social media. And that's why I believe, social media and bodybuilding is kind of a double-edged sword. It's a great medium for bodybuilders and athletes and fitness professionals to promote themselves, promote their brand, promote their services. But at the same time, I think it also serves as a platform that gives a lot of younger kids some unrealistic expectations for what their physique should look like, especially a younger, more impressionable audience like teenagers, which primarily watch my videos and a lot of other bodybuilding content. I think it's kind of unfortunate that we do have this standard set by social media because the most popular fitness accounts and the most popular bodybuilders and guys on social media are generally guys that are taking gear and have extreme physiques because they're taking gear, and that's how they garner that following. So in a sense, I'm kind of proud to have garnered the following that I have on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and all that good stuff, and I've never taken gear. And I think that's really the big upside to what I do is the fact that I'm able to do this and have a successful career in bodybuilding and fitness without having to take gear. So that's probably one of the biggest things that I'm proud of, is that I probably serve as motivation for a lot of guys. It goes to show that you don't have to take gear to be successful in the fitness industry. You can find other ways, to contribute to the sport, to be a fan of the sport, to comment on the sport, or just to be involved or have some kind of business in bodybuilding or fitness without necessarily taking gear. I have nothing against the people who do it, but for me personally, it just doesn't make sense from a health standpoint, from a business standpoint. I have nothing really to gain from it. My business doesn't depend on my physique. So therefore, taking gear would not enhance my business because it doesn't really matter. I don't have to have that physique. I don't have to have that physique for my YouTube channel to continue to be successful, which is something that I'm very, very grateful for. And I would encourage more people to try to find other paths in the fitness industry besides making money off your own physique. As far as, whether you want to start a supplement company, a YouTube channel, some kind of brand in fitness, whether you want to invent some kind of workout apparatus, there's other ways to do it besides taking gear and being a gigantic bodybuilder. You can still be a fan of bodybuilding. You can be a fan of the guys that take gear. You can be a participant in bodybuilding. You can be a natural guy that loves to go to the gym, loves to take supplements, loves the diet, loves the lifestyle, and you don't have to necessarily push your body to that extreme, and you can still make a career out of it. So yes, I have considered taking gear, but at the end of the day, I don't need to. At the end of the day, it's not something I ever plan on doing. And at the end of the day, there's really, if you weigh the benefits and risks, for me, the risks far outweigh the benefits. Yes, I would look good. Yes, I would probably get more followers on Instagram because I could post more crazy physique pictures because I only diet probably once a year as a natural bodybuilder. So I only really look good and ripped probably one or 2 months out of the year that I would be willing to post like crazy physique pictures. So I could probably make more money on Instagram if I took gear, because that's the primary thing that people are marketing themselves with, is picture their physique. But as far as my YouTube channel goes, again, I've never really needed to take gear, so it's never really been a consideration for my YouTube channel. But certainly I do understand why people feel pressured to do so. If you go to like the Arnold Classic or the Olympia Expo, you see all these guys walking around and you've been training for X amount of years and you're natural and you look nothing like them. I can definitely see why people would be tempted to do it, but for me, it's just not for me, man. So JJ Inc. Travels, are you ever going to compete again, he asks. That's an interesting question. Again, probably one of the most frequently asked questions on this channel. I haven't competed since 2016. Overall, the experience was cool because I got to see, what my own body is capable of in terms of dieting and cutting down. I got to see what I look like, pretty ripped. I started my prep for my natural bodybuilding show weighing over 220 pounds, close to 230, and I ended my prep for my natural bodybuilding show way too low, but I was about 145 on stage at that natural bodybuilding show from 220 starting point. So a crazy amount of weight cut. I lost a lot of muscle in the process, but it was pretty cool during that process just to see how hard you can push your body through cardio and diet, and how much you can really make your body change with knowledge of just nutrition and training. Now, granted, I think I over dieted. I did a lot of things wrong, but I had basic knowledge of how to diet and how to do cardio and how to prepare for a show. And it was cool to see that basic knowledge translating into actual changes to my physique. If I do ever compete again, it will be a natural show. It will not be the NPC. I competed in the NPC last time. It'll probably be like the NGA or the OCB, a natural organization, and it will most likely be in a classic physique category. And now that I actually have some more disposable income, if I do ever compete again, it will certainly be a situation where I have a coach or a prep coach or somebody helping me with that process, and not just looking at my own physique with my own two eyes. Because when I over dieted from my last show, my mentality was natural bodybuilding is a dieting contest. It's about who's the leanest guy and who's the most shredded guy. So every time I looked at myself in the mirror, I said, you need to be leaner. You're not lean enough. So I kept dieting and kept cutting, and I kept losing weight when I probably would have been fine around 160 pounds at my height. But I kept going down to 145. I think at one point I was 143 the morning of the show. And then after I carved up, I was like 145, but way too low. But I do have some interest in competing again. I think it would be interesting for the channel. I do think there's a lot of you guys that would like to see me document that process. And, ever since I competed last, that was when my channel really started to take off, was after I competed. So I became so focused and wrapped up in making videos and making content and growing my YouTube channel. Competing and training for a competition became like a secondary interest for me. I used to enjoy training a lot more, and I used to like having a goal in mind when I was training. And that was the beautiful thing about competing. It gives you a benchmark. You know how you looked at your last show. Now you're training to improve upon that physique. You're in training to improve weak body parts or areas that you didn't think looked good when you competed. So that's the good thing about competing, whether you're natural or not, is it gives you something to look at and something to train for. And it gives you kind of something, every day when you go to the gym, this is what you're trying to improve, versus where I'm at now, where my main goal is growing my YouTube channel and my main goal is creating content. When I go to the gym, I don't necessarily have a goal in mind because I'm not planning on competing in anything. So I just kind of go through the motions a lot of times when I go to the gym. So I would compete in the sense that it would be fun to document, and it would also give me a goal when I go to the gym, and I'd probably be a little bit more excited about training than I am now. Now training has almost become like a chore for me, and I don't enjoy it quite as much as I used to. In my teenage years in high school and my early years of college, going to the gym was like, it was fun. It was like going out to a party. I couldn't wait to go to the gym. I couldn't wait to take my pre-workout, get that tingly feeling, go to the gym with my buddies. But now that all my buddies have kind of gone their separate ways and moved away, and I'm going to the gym alone now, it's not as fun. It's just not the same as it used to be when I first got into it, and we were seeing those newbie gains every year. We were gaining 10 or 15 pounds, whether it was muscle or fat. We were seeing massive improvements to our physiques. I'm 26 now. I've been training since I was 12 or 13. I'm certainly at a point where I'm stopping seeing those crazy results from year to year. I still see minor improvements, but it's mostly when I'm dieting that I see the majority of the changes to my body, and not so much going to the gym and seeing a particular body part grow. But it's mostly dieting where I see the changes. So there's definitely a plateau effect, and there's definitely all that plays into how much you actually enjoy training and going to the gym. So to answer the question, am I going to compete again? Now I'm definitely considering it a lot more strongly than I was maybe a year ago or a few months ago, or the last time I did a Q&A, because now I'm definitely considering it a lot more, especially now my body weight is in the mid to high 180s. I definitely want to see what I would look like back down 160, 165, maybe even lower than that. Next question. What was the first thing that went through your head when your YouTube channel started to blow up? And that was asked by Carpino Timo Official on Instagram. Oh, that's better. Okay. So the first thing that went through my head when my YouTube channel started to blow up. So I'm trying to give you guys a good, when the exact date was that I really realized YouTube was what I wanted to do. I want to say it was early 2017 when I realized how good YouTube could be in terms of actually making money on YouTube. Now, in the beginning, I wasn't making anything. I was making videos because I enjoyed bodybuilding. People seemed to enjoy the bodybuilding videos, and money was never really part of the conversation at all when I started my YouTube channel. To be honest with you guys, I started my YouTube channel in 2012, and back then it was actually very rare that you saw somebody making a lot of money on YouTube. Nowadays, everybody wants to be a YouTuber. Everybody's kids, they want to be a YouTuber. Because you see these guys now, like PewDiePie and these massive YouTubers, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, making these insane careers and an insane amount of money off of their YouTube following. But back in 2012, it was very, very rare that you saw that. But now you see that a lot, and there's a lot of different YouTubers and different creators and different genres and different niches on YouTube where people are excelling and doing very, very well for themselves. And now it's a lot more common to make money on YouTube. But when I got started, I had no idea the extent that you could actually make money on YouTube. I knew it'd be cool to post a video and people from all over the world could hear my opinions on bodybuilding. That was the main idea when I started my channel, was if I put this video out there, people, because I'm from Ohio, people from other states can see this. People from other countries can see this video. So I thought the idea of having followers from all over the world was the coolest part about having a YouTube channel. Just this idea that you could put a opinion or information out there and people from all over could come see it. And people from all over could subscribe because they wanted to continue to see it. And that's why I was so interested in YouTube in the beginning, because I thought that concept was such an interesting concept that people would flock to somebody that they didn't know from another country, from another part of the world, to hear what they have to say. And that was the coolest part about YouTube for me in the beginning. So to answer the question, what was the first thing that went through my head when my YouTube channel started to blow up? I would say probably 2017, right around the time I was graduating college, was really the time that I realized you can make money on YouTube. And I had a really good month financially on YouTube that month. So what was going through my head was, man, here I am graduating from college. I just made X amount of dollars on YouTube. I can't remember how much I made that month. And I was thinking, man, this is more than I would make at an entry-level position at whatever job I can get with my degree. My degree was health science. I graduated from NKU, Northern Kentucky University, and that was my bachelor's degree. And I was looking at entry-level jobs where I'd be getting $3-4 grand a month. And I don't know how much I made when I graduated on YouTube, but it was more than that, significantly more than that. And I was like, man, I should really try to put all my eggs in this YouTube basket, because I'm getting all these views. I'm making money. I didn't know I could make money on YouTube. So I should really try a lot harder to put out content every day. So when I started that first month that I started seeing money actually coming in, I think I had a viral video that month or something. I think it was when I was doing the videos about WWE wrestlers. I think it was the video about Scott Steiner's chest, to be honest with you. That was the first video that kind of pushed me over the top. And I saw a significant amount of revenue from one video. I think it was at that point that I realized, hey, I should put way more effort into this YouTube channel, because I was probably posting once a week or a couple times a month, and I was kind of just being very inconsistent. So my first thought when I started to actually get a lot of views and a lot of subscribers is I should try to put out as much content as possible. So in the early days of my channel, I was putting out 3, 4, 5 videos a day, every day for months on end. Now lately, I've been trying to do a video a day or a video every other day because I'm getting enough views per video that's sustainable for my channel. I can put out a video and get 150,000 views on that video, and I would be good for the next day or so. But back then, when I was putting out 3, 4, 5 videos a day, I was only getting 5, 10, 15,000 views a video. So I was trying to sustain a certain amount of views per day. I was trying to get, I think my goal back then was 30,000 total views per day. So I was posting X amount of videos per day to reach that number. But now my goal is about 100,000 views per day is what I'm always aiming for, and whether that's every day or every other day. So the main thing that went through my head to answer the question for like the 4th time was I need to be more consistent with this, and I should actually give YouTube a chance from a career standpoint and see what I can do with this as far as actually putting effort and energy and treating YouTube as a job. So that's when I really started to treat YouTube like it was more than just a hobby, because that's all it was for the first 5 years I had my channel. It was just a hobby. I would post a couple times a year, funny videos, stupid videos, just videos that I felt like posting or that I thought would be entertaining. And when it started to really blow up, I think I had a month in the early days when I was under 100,000 subscribers where I did like 55,000 subscribers in 1 month. And that month I was like, man, I might have something going for me here. I really need to pursue this. So kind of a long-winded explanation, but I really want you guys to grasp how random it was when I started my YouTube channel and how it never really was within the plan to make YouTube a career or to go this far with my YouTube channel. My goal when I started, I said, man, if I can make 100,000 subscribers, if I could reach that number, I'll retire and I'll never make a video again. 100,000 was just like this pie in the sky goal. That's all I wanted. I didn't want money. I just was aiming for that number of 100,000. Then the first couple months of me really taking it seriously, I blew past 100,000, and I was like, man, this is pretty cool. And I really started to pursue YouTube full time, and I treat it like a job every single day. As you can see, my office is behind me. When I moved into this location, I live in a townhouse now. Prior to this, I lived in an apartment with my ex-girlfriend. And the main thing that I was looking for when I got that apartment and got this townhouse was a nice room and a nice area for an office. I have one room of this townhouse exclusively dedicated to making YouTube videos. I've got all my cameras in here, all my computers in here. I've got like 5 computers. I've got like 4 cameras. I've got, soundproof walls. I got all this bodybuilding memorabilia around me, all the magazines I've contributed to on my left-hand side, all my bodybuilding trophies behind me. I've got this giant L-shaped, actually it's a U-shaped desk. So I started treating YouTubing as a career. I took it very seriously, and I built a lifestyle around it. I made it a job. So when I go to work, I come in my office, I shut my door, I start researching, I start recording. And I think that's the most important thing for someone who's starting a YouTube channel. And it's something that not a lot of people have the luxury to do, because it was really lucky timing for me because I was in college at the time. So I wasn't working at that time. So I had the spare time to really invest into my YouTube channel. And I had the opportunity when I graduated college to say, hey, I'm going to put off getting a job with this degree, and I'm going to take this time where I have a bunch of free time in the summer to actually pursue YouTube. And that summer I did very, very well on YouTube. So I started making that a regular thing, and I just kept going with it from 2017 until now, and we're almost at 2020. So it's almost been 3 years that I've been doing this, doing YouTube as my sole career, my sole profession. And I'm very, very blessed to have been doing this. And I think it's one of the coolest things that ever happened to me. And I'm very, very grateful for it. And I'm very, very grateful for all of you guys. So the next question is from Gray_21. Best or favorite fitness vlogger / personality? That's a good question. I'm trying to think of all the channels that I watch. I don't watch too many YouTube channels that are dedicated to bodybuilding anymore, because when I've made my career bodybuilding content and bodybuilding news, I pretty much see everything that's going on in the bodybuilding world through my research for my own videos. So I don't really need to watch too many other people's videos. I'm trying to think who I watch on a regular basis. Probably Chris Jones, the Pump Chasers YouTube channel. I love his channel. That's really the first one that comes to mind. So I'm going to go with Chris Jones. He's a great guy. I've talked to him a few times. Very humble, very down-to-earth guy. Love Chris Jones. So I'm going to pick him as my favorite fitness vlogger / personality. Where did you meet your girlfriend, your current girlfriend? So my current girlfriend, I actually met at the Arnold Classic 2019 at the Redcon 1 booth. She's actually waiting in line to meet me there. And a lot of people ask me about this because I post a lot about my girlfriend now, and I didn't really post a lot about my girlfriend before. So I was actually in a relationship prior to my current girlfriend for 10 years. So I'm 26 now, and I started dating my last girlfriend when I was 16 or 15. I started dating her in 2009, and I dated my last girlfriend from 2009 to 2019. But I didn't really post much about her because I just didn't really want my personal life and my YouTube persona life to really ever intermingle. And she wasn't really involved in any way, shape, or form in fitness or bodybuilding or working out. She had no interest in really any of that stuff. So there was never really any reason to involve her in it. And my current girlfriend is super interested in it. Obviously, she was at the Arnold Classic. Obviously, she watched my videos, and that's how she knew who I was. So she's interested in what I do, which I think is very important for a relationship. I mean, I got the feeling a lot of times that my last girlfriend resented what I do because she was in college for a very, very long time, trying to figure out her career path and trying to figure out what she was going to do. And all this time while she was in college and racking up debt and having a hard time working at the job she was working at, I found this thing that I love doing. I love being a YouTuber. I love bodybuilding. I love being involved in the industry, and I was making good money doing it. And I constantly felt the feeling of resentment from her for me doing what I do. I didn't feel like A, she was interested in it, and B, I don't think she liked the fact that I was successful doing something that I loved while she was really in the opposite situation. I don't want to speak too much on her personal situation, but at the time, she wasn't doing very well in college. She couldn't figure out what she wanted to do. She was switching her majors around. And eventually that ended up in us breaking up. And it's a very, very hard thing to go through a breakup of 10 years when you're 26 years old, because 10 years is almost half your life. It's pretty much your entire adult life. Well, it was my entire adult life if you say you become an adult at 18. So it's a very, very hard thing to get over, even though I'm the one that broke up with her. It's definitely something that's impacted me tremendously. When I've talked about it before on some live streams that I've done on Instagram, and a lot of people seem to commiserate with the fact that, hey, I dated this girl for X amount of years. We just broke up. It was a very, very hard thing to get over. And it still is. It's been 8 months now since I broke up with that girl, and I've been dating the new girl for 8 months. And I lived with my last girlfriend for 2 years. So I had an apartment with her from 2017 to 2019. And that was my first office setup for the YouTube channel, was in that apartment. Then I moved out on my own to this townhouse where I live alone. So, I mean, it was a pretty serious relationship, and it really just came down to the fact that I think we're going in different directions with our lives. I think she was really driven towards me committing to her as far as getting engaged, and I never really had that thought, and I never really had it in my mind that that was something that I wanted, and she was really, really driven for me to propose to her and get engaged, and I just didn't want to do that. So it finally came to a head where she was going to be graduating from college, and I had told her, okay, maybe when you graduate from college we can get engaged. And when the time came that she was graduating and that conversation came up again, I still didn't want to do it. So I kind of realized, maybe we're just going in different directions and I need to cut this off. And I think it makes it even harder to get over a relationship that long when you're the one that ended it, because then you feel guilt and regret. You wonder constantly if you made the right decision. I know it's a lot harder, probably. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below if you think it's harder to be broken up with or harder to end a relationship in the long run, looking back, like retrospectively, because if you have regrets or things aren't going so well with the new girl, or you're thinking about your old girlfriend moving on with someone new, I don't know which is worse, if you're the one that ended it or if she's the one that ended it, because if you ended it, you're the one that's responsible for that decision. And if that was the right or wrong decision, it's on you. At least if the other person ended it, you really had no choice, so you can't really feel guilty about it. So that's one of the things that I struggle with the most about that breakup, is feelings of guilt, I would say. In case I made the wrong decision, it's completely on me. And in case, just the impact that it had on her life, the impact that it had on my life, I know it very dramatically negatively impacted her emotional well-being. She obviously wasn't very happy about it. It kind of took her by surprise. But for me, in the beginning, it was very, very easy, because I thought, okay, hey, I'm moving on. I want to try a different relationship with a different girl. I was very excited about it in the beginning. But then as time progressed, I started to think more and more about, hey, you made a very tremendous decision. I mean, this girl, you dated her for 10 years. She probably thought that you guys were going to be together forever. I thought we were going to be together forever. So you made a life-changing decision for not only yourself, but for her too. And you got to live with that for the rest of your life. I think for me, that's the hardest part about making a breakup decision like that, is the impact that it had on two people's lives, not just my own, and the fact that I'm responsible for it. So I don't know if that's too much relationship talk for you guys, but I know a lot of you guys watching this are guys. A lot of you guys have gone through breakups. A lot of you guys know that it's very, very difficult. A lot of people always tell me 10 years is longer than most marriages last nowadays. So it was a big deal for me to end that relationship. But long story short, that is the story of my current girlfriend and my ex-girlfriend. A lot of people don't know that I was in a relationship for 10 years, but I was. It was pretty rocky, and now here we are. Let me go ahead and crack another pre-workout here. I'll go ahead and put it in the koozie, though, because I don't know if YouTube appreciates this kind of pre-workout. That's better. We got the Redcon 1 tier operator koozie on here, by the way. So I want to thank Aaron Singerman, by the way. I just got back a couple weeks ago from Boca Raton, Florida. I went down to the Redcon 1 headquarters. They had the tier operator readiness riot there. I got a tour of the offices, the warehouse, the Redcon 1 gym. It was amazing. Aaron flew us down there. Me and my new girlfriend actually flew us down there first class. I've never been in first class before. It was awesome. The whole experience was awesome. The readiness riot was awesome. Free food, free drinks. The whole thing was great. So I wanted to take this time about halfway through this video. Actually, we're probably more than halfway now. To thank Aaron, thank Redcon 1. Obviously, they've been sponsors of my channel for a pretty long time. I think over 3 years now. And we're just a couple days away, actually, from Black Friday. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to support the channel on Black Friday, go to redcon1.com and participate in the Black Friday deal. All I can say right now, it's going to be the biggest and best deal in Redcon 1's history as a company. It's going to be a tremendous deal, but if you go and you buy something with that deal, you get some free stuff, you get whatever percentage off they're going to be offering. Make sure you tell them Nick Strength and Power sent you, because I can't release the details of the deal yet. I know there's 5 new products dropping on Black Friday, 5 new flavors of products dropping on Black Friday, in addition to the sale that they're having. So I'm excited for that. I might shop the sale myself to get my friends some Christmas gifts. That's how good of a deal it's going to be. So Redcon 1 Black Friday sale coming up in just a few days now. Next question. Will you ever do a super bulk again? I'm going to answer that really quickly. Never. I will never do a super bulk again. The last time I did that, I was competing in powerlifting. I don't know if you can't see my medals in the frame of this video, but I've got all my powerlifting medals over there to the left. I competed in powerlifting, probably 20 to 25 different meets I did. And at the time I wanted to compete in the 220 plus weight category. So I was bulking up, and the heaviest that I got to, I think it was 225 or 230. And I did that for powerlifting. The local powerlifting federation that I was competing in, it was a 220 plus category, I'm pretty sure. And that's the only reason I bulked up to that weight, because I competed in 165, I competed in 181, I competed in 198, and then I finally got up to 220. Now, the reason I was doing that is because the powerlifting federation that I competed in had bench press, deadlift, and strict curl. They didn't have squat because that federation didn't own a monolith to do squats on, so they did strict curl instead. And it turned out I was very, very good at strict curl, and I set a lot of state records in strict curl. So my goal was, I did strict curl and I did very, very well. So I set records in 165. I wanted to move up to a different weight category and try to set records there. I set records in 181. I wanted to move up again, set records in 198. And then finally, like, the one weight category that I thought was eluding me was the heavier one, the 220 plus. So then I went and set records there as well. I have no idea if these records still stand. I think the last competition I did was probably 2016, before my bodybuilding show, was the last powerlifting meet that I did. But I was setting these records, and I was getting kind of bored of competing within that same weight category because I thought I wasn't really improving my lifts much. So I kept moving up in weight because I kept wanting to get these different awards. I think in the back right there, you can see 2 of the trophies that I got for best overall lifter, in addition to the state records that I got. Those 2 trophies right above me, the gold trophies, those are the strict curl trophies that I got. I think one of them is 165 pounds at the 165 body body weight mark. And I think the other one is 170 pounds at 181. So for me, one of my most impressive accomplishments as a powerlifter was curling my own body weight, 165 pounds at 165 pounds body weight. And that was one of the coolest things for me. And that's when I finally got that trophy over there of the guy curling. And I was super, super excited about that. So no, I'll never do a super bulk again. The only reason I ever did that was for powerlifting. I got fat as hell. I've got no excuses. I was fat. I was really effing fat. And I never want to get that fat again. I'm pretty fat now, to be honest with you guys. I don't think I'm lean by any stretch of the imagination at 185 or whatever I'm weighing right now. But at 220 at my height, 225 at my height, fat. F-A-T, fat, and I have no delusions about it. I don't think I look good. I was breathing heavy. I was forcing myself to eat Taco Bell for breakfast. I was just trying to get as big as possible to try to curl as much as possible. I don't know what my heaviest curl of all time was. I think it was like 175 or 180. I'll have to look back at the old the medals that I've got over there. But let's go ahead and get into the next question. What is your goal in life, and what do you want to accomplish in life? My main driving goal right now is my YouTube channel. That's my main motivating factor. And my biggest goal is to hit 1 million subscribers. I don't care how long it takes or when I hit it, but that is my goal. I want to get to 1 million. That's just a number in my mind that is like, you've made it as a YouTube creator. I want to get that golden play button. The money is like, truthfully, and I honestly mean this, the money that I make on YouTube is honestly a secondary thing to my goal of getting to 1 million. I don't care how much money I make on YouTube. The main goal is getting to that 1 million. Whether I'm demonetized completely going forward or not, I will still continue to post videos because I want to get to 1 million. So that 1 million subscriber mark to me is just a really big deal, because if I go back to what I was talking about earlier with the initial reason why I thought YouTube was so cool, the idea that you could put out an opinion or a video of you talking and people from all around the world could see it and they could subscribe because they wanted to see more, that idea that 1 million people could click subscribe on my channel because they wanted to hear what I have to say, or they enjoy watching my videos, they enjoy my content, they want to hear my opinion, whether they love me or hate me, they click subscribe. That idea to me is so cool that 1 million people could want to watch my videos, that they actually hit subscribe to see my videos every day in their feed. That's my goal. So like this video and share this video. Try to get me to 1 million subscribers. And if you haven't clicked subscribe, click subscribe right now, because I really would appreciate that. 1 million subscribers is the goal. I think 2018 to 2019, I think, was my most successful year on YouTube. I think I gained over 400,000 subscribers in that year alone. I think this year I did about 250,000 subscribers this year. So right now I'm at 786,000. So I need to do about 220,000 more to get over that 1 million. So hopefully another year or so I'll be at that 1 million mark. That's my main goal in life. My other goal is to have a happy and healthy relationship, a happy, life with a girl. For so many years, I feel like I was with my last girlfriend. A lot of the time I felt like I stayed with that girl because it felt comfortable and it felt easy, but I wasn't necessarily happy for a lot of that relationship. I found myself, we were off and on for, some of those years, but I found myself like pretty just overall unhappy with that person, spending time with that person. So my other goal would be to make my current relationship work and not be another statistic of, okay, here's another fitness couple that failed. I actually want to devote a lot of time and effort to my relationship and really make it successful. And that's why, honestly, that's why I stopped posting videos as frequently as I was. Before I met this girl and before I started dating this girl, I was posting every single day, nonstop. That was like without a question, every single day, one video, if not multiple videos per day. But when I started dating this girl, she moved to my state, Ohio, from 3 hours away. So she left her whole life before me to move closer to me so we could try to make this relationship work, because we both knew the long distance thing and texting and Snapchat and all that stuff, that was fun, but we both knew in the long run that wasn't going to work. And we both knew we had like really serious feelings for each other. So she moved here for me. And when she moved here, I stopped posting as frequently and I stopped spending as much time working, because I really wanted to focus on making her comfortable here in Ohio, because she has no friends. She has no family. She just started a brand new job here when she moved here. So I wanted to really focus on spending a lot of time with my girlfriend when she moved here to make her feel Like, she didn't move here for no reason, and to make her feel comfortable in this relationship. And that's really a big reason why I stopped posting as frequently as I was, because honestly, at that point, YouTube kind of took a back seat to my own happiness, because that breakup with my 10-year relationship, that was like a really big life event for me. And I really needed to make sure that my actual personal life was stable and I was going to get happiness from the new relationship, because essentially I left the old relationship for the new relationship. So my happiness was entirely riding on the success of this new relationship. So I wanted to put as much effort into it as I possibly could. And if that meant not looking at bodybuilding videos and bodybuilding news every single day, all day, that's what I had to do to make that relationship work. So my other goal would certainly be to invest as much time and energy into my new relationship and making it a happy one, and making it successful, working on trust, working on boundaries, working on just having fun together. And I think, that's the most important thing, or I think that's the biggest reason why I enjoy my relationship with this girl, is because while yes, I think I do have to actually put some effort into making her feel comfortable here, I think the fact that we have fun together is effortless. I don't have to try to make things fun, or I don't have to try to enjoy her company, or I don't have to try to laugh around her. I don't have to try to have a good time with that person. And I think that's the biggest thing in a relationship. If you've got to try to be happy, it's probably not a successful relationship. With me and her, one of the biggest reasons why I started dating her is we just had a connection and we got along really well. We laugh all the time. In the first, I don't even know if I want to say this on video, but like the first couple months of us hanging out, she would drive here. She would drive to Ohio 3 hours just to hang out with me. In the first few months, I refused to have sex with her because I didn't want to jump into that aspect of a relationship too soon. I didn't want it to become all about sex. If she was driving from where she lived to me just to have sex, that made this relationship something completely different. But if she was driving to me because we had such a good time together, and then she kept coming because we were having so much fun and not because we were going to have sex, it made the beginning of the relationship, I think that foundation is a very important part of a relationship, especially nowadays, with Tinder and all these dating apps. A lot of people jump into a relationship after having sex because they hooked up. They hooked up and now they continue to talk and then they date. That's the way a lot of relationships go for millennials nowadays. And I didn't want to be one of those people. I didn't want her to come the first time we hung out, hook up, and then that's why she keeps coming back. I really wanted it to be that we had a great connection, and that's why she kept coming back, and that's exactly what we did. So for the first 2-3 months, didn't have any sex at all, and we just hung out. And I think that's a very important aspect of a relationship. That's something that I tried really, really hard to have restraint in that aspect of that relationship, and I think I'm really grateful that I did that. And that would be my advice to you guys. Delete that Tinder app. Go out there and meet a girl that isn't looking for sex. Go out there and meet a girl that you don't want to have sex with right away. I'm not saying look for an ugly girl, but make sex, put that on the back burner. Make an actual connection be the priority, because that's what I did with this girl, because I knew if the first time we hung out, just the two of us, I knew if we had sex, that would be in the back of my mind every other time that we hung out. That would be something that I wanted to do. That would, in the back of my mind, be why I wanted to see her next, because I wanted to hook up again. And that would be my motivation for wanting to continue to hang out. I knew in the back of my mind, I'm a guy. A lot of you guys are guys. I knew that would be my motivation. So I knew if I didn't do that and we hung out and just had a good time, that the only reason I would want to see her again the next time would be so I could have a good time with her again. And I think that's very, very important. And I think that's very, very rare, especially in our generation nowadays. I mean, I'm 26. Most of my friends have Tinder accounts. Most of my friends tell me stories of all their Tinder hookups. I've never had a Tinder account. Obviously, I was in a relationship for 10 years. 10 years was way before Tinder even existed. 10 years was before Instagram existed. 10 years was before Snapchat existed. We met on Facebook like a couple years after Facebook was invented. That's actually how I met my first girlfriend. So I think a lot of people get caught up in the instant gratification aspect of a relationship with these dating apps and with social media, sliding in DMs. I can't say that, because this girl, she actually did slide, my current girlfriend, she actually did slide in my Instagram DMs like 8 months before we actually met. And we talked for a while in between then. But yeah, I think that's extremely important, is to have a connection beyond something sexual. I don't know if I'm getting way too deep in this Q&A or not, but this is what you guys like to see, isn't it? Give me a thumbs up if you want to hear more about relationship advice from a stupid 26-year-old meathead bro's perspective. I'm just fucking with you guys. Let's get to the next question. When done with YouTube, what kind of business would you love to get into? Number one, I really want to start a gym. So when I moved into this townhouse, my original goal was to rent a 5,000 square foot like business storefront and put a gym in there. And I was going to do that instead of getting a townhouse. But the thing was, my lease for my apartment with my ex-girlfriend was not over yet. And it's still not over. It's not over until December. But I realized when this girl moved here, my new girlfriend, that I needed to get the hell out of that apartment. I needed to completely move all my stuff out of there, and I needed to be completely removed from my ex-girlfriend, have my office out of there, have all my things out of there, and I really needed my own place that was just away from that situation. So initially, my goal was this year to start my own gym, a Nick Strength and Power gym. But I kind of had to put that idea on the back burner when it became a necessity for me to move out. So that's really why the gym thing took a back seat, because really, again, my personal life really came in the way of these business dreams. And I think it's important to make these decisions when you have these business goals or these business ideas or things you want to work on to make money or for a career. But if you're not happy doing it, I think you need to put your happiness ahead of all those things. So when my happiness started to get in the way and that became a necessity to fix that, I kind of put that to the forefront of just getting a new place, no matter how expensive it was, and putting all these other financial ideas on a back burner and focusing on moving in here and getting my stuff in here and finding a good place to live was my sole priority. So after YouTube, I would really love to open a gym, start a supplement company, something like that. Again, still within this industry, because I love this industry. The people in this industry are great. I think the industry is growing. Social media is having this effect, like I talked about earlier. Social media is having this effect on the fitness industry where it's constantly growing because you constantly have more and more fitness influencers. And I hate that word. But fitness influencers, there's more and more every single day. People posting pictures of their physique, gaining followers, starting companies. The fitness industry is huge, and I think it's only going to continue to get bigger. So whatever I do after YouTube, I would love to do something still within this fitness realm. Hopefully with the money that I made on YouTube, I can invest that in some kind of fitness-related venture because I've saved most of my money on YouTube. The only things I've really bought, you guys have seen my Corvettes. Those are really the biggest things that I've bought with my money. Other than that, and paying my rent at this place, I really saved the majority of my money. So I'd really like to invest that in some kind of business related to fitness when this YouTube thing is said and done. I mean, I have no delusions about YouTube lasting forever. I know that people's attention spans are very short. YouTube is very much a platform where it's a 15 seconds of fame type of thing. Not 15 seconds, but a lot of creators come and go on YouTube, and a lot of people get burnt out and just choose to leave. Other people just become bored of the content and they leave on their own. And whether people get bored of me or I choose to leave, I know that one of those things is going to happen eventually, and I'm going to have to figure something else out. But I would love to continue to do YouTube until I hit 1 million subscribers and then keep going from there. That would be my immediate goal, is to hit that 1 million. But after that, I would really like to try to find something else within this industry to do, possibly in conjunction with YouTube, and promote that business with my YouTube channel and continue to make YouTube videos, not have any sponsors, not need any advertisement revenue, and just promote my own company in my videos and organically grow it that way. I think would be a cool stepping stone type of thing off of YouTube. But in the meantime, I really enjoy making YouTube videos, and I really enjoy interacting with you guys. And it doesn't feel like a job to me most days. Some days it does. Some days I really don't want to make a video. Sometimes I really don't even want to get out of bed. And some days I do feel like I'm just making a video just to make one, just because I'm so used to making a video every day. But for the most part, I enjoy making videos and I enjoy doing what I do. And I feel very, very lucky and very, very grateful to do what I do. I mean, this past year has been insane. I met and interviewed Arnold Schwarzenegger at the Arnold Classic. I had my own booth at the Olympia, and Sean Roden didn't have his own booth at the Olympia and came to my booth to meet fans. This has been like a super surreal year, and it's all because I chose YouTube as a career. I've gotten to do amazing things. I've been featured in Flex magazine. I've been featured in Muscular Development magazine. I've written articles for Muscle Sport magazine. I've been featured on websites all around the world. I've met pretty much every single bodybuilder that you could name. Brandon Curry, I met right before he won the Olympia, and I've met him at the Arnold Classic too, and he said he watched my videos right before he won the Arnold Classic. So just a tremendous journey this past year has been, and it's been amazing. And I could not be more grateful for the position that I'm in, the career that I have. Dude, every day I wake up, I look at my office, and I've got to pinch myself because it feels like a dream that I'm doing what I'm doing. When I go out to my garage and I see both of my Corvettes, I got to pinch myself. And I'm like, man, is this really my life? I always dreamed of having a Corvette. Never did I ever think I would have a classic Corvette. I've got a 1977 and a current C7 Corvette Stingray. I look at it in my garage and I'm like, man, I am so lucky. Every single day when I get in that car and I drive to the gym, I'm like, man, I am so lucky to be living this life and doing what I'm doing. I could not be more grateful for the opportunities that I've been given. It's just been a wild ride. But after YouTube, and there will be an after YouTube someday, again, I have no delusions about that. Hopefully I'll open a gym. I think that would be really fun. I know it's not the most lucrative thing to do, but I think it would be something that I would enjoy doing. I still enjoy training, and I think that would be very, very cool. So be on the lookout for Nick Strength and Power Gym, possibly even in 2020. I don't plan on stopping YouTube or my YouTube fizzling out in 2020, but the gym is definitely something I've wanted to get the ball rolling on for quite some time. Let's get to the next question here. What is the best way to get a sponsor? This was asked by J People's Fitness. So I get this question a lot, and to be honest with you guys, Redcon 1 kind of fell into my lap. Aaron reached out to me directly when he was first starting Redcon back in 2016 or 2017. So I got in with Redcon very, very early. But I'll keep this answer kind of short. I think the best way to get in with a supplement company or to get in with a sponsor is for you first to have built a following and have something to offer that company. You need to be able to say, hey, I've got this amount of subscribers, this amount of followers, I get this amount of views. This is the level of exposure I can offer you, your brand, and your products because this is how many people are watching me. So this is how many eyeballs I can put on you. So I think it's very important to pay attention to what other influencers are doing, the level of following that other people have before they get a sponsor, because that shows you what supplement companies and what sponsors view as value. If someone with 1,000 followers is looking for a sponsorship, they need to be looking at other people with 10, 50, 100,000 subscribers or followers and see what that person is doing for their sponsor before they go looking for their own sponsor. You should not expect to become an elite level sponsored athlete by a supplement company with 500 followers. I think for the most part, you've got to have 100,000 plus to get into that category. I don't consider myself an athlete or a sponsored athlete. I do, unfortunately, consider myself the word influencer, but I do think I provide quite a bit of value. I mean, the number of views that I get, the number of subscribers that I have, I'm very active on both Instagram and YouTube. So I think I offer a lot to a supplement company like Redcon 1 in terms of overall exposure and brand awareness. And especially the fact that they don't have to give me a lot in return. I'm very happy with my free supplements every month, my friendship with Aaron, and also the opportunities that Aaron gives me. Aaron is the one that got me the interview with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and also the commission that I make each month. I'm very, very happy. It's not a crap load of money. People assume I'm getting paid $5,000 plus. I'm not even getting paid half of that per month from commission. I'm not making a crap load of money from a sponsorship because I make the primary income for me is AdSense revenue on my channel. So I want to kind of dispel that myth that supplement sponsorships are these crazy amounts of money. I've got almost 800,000 followers, and we're talking a couple thousand a month monetarily from my supplement sponsorship. So I just wanted to point that out because I think some people might have unrealistic expectations that you're going to be making six figures if you get a sponsorship right off the bat. I've got 800,000 subscribers. I'm not making six figures from any sponsorship that I've ever had, and I probably never will. I'd be very surprised if any supplement company or any company for that matter sponsored me in the realm of 6 figures per year. I think it's a very unrealistic number unless you've got millions or tens of millions of followers. A sponsorship like that is not going to come along very easily. I know I saw an interview the other day. I forget who it was. It was a female fitness model. She had like 5 million plus followers on her Instagram page, and she was talking about the fact that her Instagram page makes $400,000 per year off of sponsorships. I am not even 20% of the following that she has, and she's only making 400,000. You would think someone with 5 million plus followers would be making a lot more than $500,000 a year, but that's just how it goes. Abraham 19s asks, when will your next video be on your second channel? So I'm going to use this time to plug my second channel, Nick Strengthen Vlogs. If you guys want to subscribe, I will be posting a video on there very, very soon. A tour of my new office, my new house, the gym that I put in the basement of this house, some of the very cool gym equipment that I ordered from my personal gym. I've got my own ab machine, like a commercial grade Nautilus ab machine. I've got some very cool stuff in that gym, and I am going to vlog that and put that up on the Nick Strengthen Vlogs channel very, very soon before the holidays here. So Nick Strengthen Vlogs, check that bad boy out. Click subscribe. Shameless plug. How do you keep yourself motivated even on days when you feel stressed out? That is a difficult question, because honestly, a lot of people think YouTube is the easiest job in the world. And I will say it's easier than most jobs. And I will say it's a very, very good position to be in. It's very, very unusual, the amount of money a YouTuber can make for the work that they do. And I think it's a very, very lucky position to be in. Now, that being said, I would not say that YouTube is necessarily easy or stress-free. I think there's a certain thing that people don't understand when it comes to thousands of comments per day, hundreds of thousands of views per day, and pressure to sustain those views, pressure to keep getting subscribers, pressure to read those comments and see, these people like me, these people don't like me, these people didn't like this video, these people did. The pressure to make something that people like and people will watch, and then the stress that you have when you post something that people don't like and people aren't watching. When I make a video, let's say I make a video and I put 5 or 6 hours into that video, a decent amount of time goes into that video, and it gets 20,000 views instead of 100,000. That is stressful as hell as a creator to see I put all this work into this one video and nobody wanted to see it. Nobody cared, nobody watched it, did terrible, didn't make any money off of it. It didn't do anything for my channel. That feeling is an undescribable amount of stress, because you're worried about the next day or the next week. Are my views going to keep going down? Are people going to watch my next video? It's a stress and a pressure that I don't think someone who's not a YouTuber could understand. When you see a video get significantly less views than what you're used to, it's a scary thing and it's a stressful thing. When you see a video get a lot of dislikes or a lot of comments that aren't liking that content, it's very, very stressful. Especially like with me, I think every month I'm getting almost 100,000 new comments. Every month I'm getting 5 to 10 million views. Every month I'm getting, hundreds of thousands of likes or dislikes. It's a stressful thing for someone like me that actually reads all the comments, for someone like me that looks very closely at the analytics, for someone like me that looks very closely at the views, the likes, the subscribers every day. And I'm not looking for any sympathy when I say that, but I think there's a certain element of stress to being a YouTuber that a lot of people just simply could never understand unless they were a YouTuber. Now, again, don't get me wrong. I'm very, very gifted and blessed and thankful to be in this position, and it is a great position to be in. But interacting with this many people on a daily basis, this many people hearing your voice, reacting to your opinions, giving you their opinions, it can be a very, very stressful job that I think most people just wouldn't understand. So I just wanted to point that out. And how do I keep myself motivated? It's hard, man. It really is hard to crank out a video every single day and to interact with people every single day, read those comments, get that feedback. But at the end of the day, I'm motivated by that goal of hitting 1 million subscribers. So I'm going to wrap this video up because my camera is about to die, but I love you guys. I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you guys if you made it to the end of this video. As always, thank you guys for watching. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed already. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.